Hey guys, and welcome back. So for today's video, I will be trying on and coming up with a look with the, I guess you could still call it new, the Morphe X Jeffree Star palette. So I have not tried anything by Jeffree Star whatsoever. For any of you guys who know me or maybe know my style, I'm not like this kind of person that likes to venture off into, you know, unknown territory with makeup. I'm not usually one for like the super dramatic eyes or like the super colorful eyes, like things like that. Not that I don't want to, but it's just I kind of tend to stay safe with makeup and to what I know. So that is why I haven't tried really anything from Jeffree Star, just because his things are a little more on the wild side, but that's not to say that I don't love them. Like, they're beautiful palettes. But when this guy came out a couple weeks ago, I kind of jumped and I purchased it right away, and it did get here a couple weeks ago. Like, this is not new to me whatsoever. I have not tried it yet at all. It's just I've been so busy with work. So when I can find time, I said, okay, I'm going to do a video of me trying on this palette right here. So if you would like to know my first impression on this palette and how it wears and to see what kind of look that I can come up with, then just keep on watching. The palette looks just like the outer packaging. It's beautiful. I think it's super cute. I love the holographic detailing and the light and dark pink. And when you open it up, it has one of these plastic protectors on the eyeshadows, and it has a massive mirror, which is pleasantly surprising. And you can see all of the beautiful colors in here. So it does kind of stick more towards like the pinky tones and then the green tones, which is why I think a lot of looks on YouTube and Instagram have the pink and green looks. I'm gonna try to steer far away from like that watermelon kind of look, because green is really not my color. Not to say that I wouldn't incorporate it into a look, but I don't think I'm going to do, like, definitely not going to do the pink and green. I want to do something a little bit different. I have no idea what I'm going to do yet. I have not thought this over. I literally just had a day off and I was like, okay, I'm going to come in here, I'm going to film this video and get this done. So, as you can see, I already done pretty much my whole face. I'm just going to show you guys what I used so far. So for foundation, I used the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. This one is in the shade 405 Porcelain. I actually tried this on for the first time in my last drugstore haul, and I absolutely love it. I've been using it almost every day since. So that's the foundation that I'm using. The concealer that I'm using is the Covergirl Trublend Undercover Concealer, and this is in the shade L150 Porcelain. I also really love this concealer. I think that these two go really well together. Again, this was in my last video for the drugstore haul. For my under eyes, I was using the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder. This one is in the shade Fair. And for bronzer, I've been using the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Medium Deep Matte Bronzer. This is the old packaging, but it's as far as I know, it's the same formula as the newer packaging that came out. I'm just super slow at using all of my products, so I don't want to buy a new one until this one is gone. For blush, I was using the Milani Blossom Time Rose Blush. It's just like a beautiful, everyday, kind of a light pink natural color. For brows, I used my BH Cosmetics Flawless Brow Trio, and I was using that middle shade right there, as if you can't already tell. So that is all I have on my face right now. I will list all the products that I used today for this look in the description box below, so keep an eye out for that. And okay, I think we are ready to jump into this palette. I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually kind of nervous because it is such a colorful palette, and I don't normally strive for colorful looks on the daily basis, so I am a little bit nervous, but I'm just gonna, you know, take this and go. Okay, so for starters, I think I'm gonna go in with this shade up here. It's called Back. So I'm just gonna go in with a Morphe G17 brush. I'm just gonna tap into that, and I'm just going to apply this right into my crease. And I am a big fan of Morphe shadows. Like, I absolutely love the Jaclyn Hill palette. That is like by far my everyday go-to palette. Not a question there. I do have some other Morphe palettes that I really like as well. I just really like their formula, and they are super affordable, so I think that's great. So I think that's probably part of the reason why I bought this, is because it was a Morphe collaboration. Not that I don't like Jeffree Star, I follow him on everything and his videos are like amazing. So not that I don't like Jeffree Star, but again, it was the color thing that kind of threw me off. So I am going to try my best to steer out of my comfort zone while still making it my own kind of style, if you know what I mean. And that actually came out a little darker than I thought. So I think I'm going to be a little bit bold, and I'm going to go into Self-Made. So it's that like iconic Jeffree Star pink. So the same brush, I'm just going to dip into that. And it is a little bit powdery, so just don't forget to tap off your brush. And I am just going to very lightly just kind of put that into my crease just to deepen up that pink a little bit more. And I am just blending that in. And because it is such a pigmented color, like, you want to make sure that it's blended in pretty well. You don't want any harsh lines. Okay, so I think I'm going to go into this shade that's right below it. It's called Pink Fleet. So this one right here, it's just kind of like a little bit more of a purpley magenta color, like just ever so slightly. So again, tap off your excess, and I'm just gonna start packing that in before I blend. And again, just blend that in. I figured I had to incorporate the pink somewhere because of course that's like the Jeffree Star color, and I feel like most people would buy this palette just because of those pink tones, because when you think of Jeffree Star, you of course think of that bright pink color. Okay, so I think what I'm going to go into now is I'm going to go into kind of that purple shade. I think it's called Mogul. Yeah, Mogul. So it's this one up here. Same brush. Once again, there's no need to get a different brush. So again, tap off the excess, and this is just going to darken it up just a little bit. So you can see that that really did help brighten up the pink shade a little bit, and it just gave it a little bit more dimension. So I'm like totally going on a whim here. I have no idea what kind of look I'm going for. I'm just literally looking in the palette to see what color kind of draws me in next. I am going to go into this shade right next to the one I used, and this one is called Calabasas, I believe. So it's like kind of like a burnt, almost like a burnt reddy, not really orangey, but like a burnt red brown, I guess you could say. So I'm just going to go into that with a Sigma Small Tapered Blending E45 brush. And I'm going to dip the end into that, and I'm just going to kind of focus this more so into the corners, like the outer corners of my eyelid. And I'm just going to build this up a little bit. So I'm actually going to take it a little bit into the center of my lid. I think I'm going to pull it over a little bit more, so just kind of right here. So I'm going to continue to build that up. So now that I have Calabasas kind of just where I said I was going to do, like kind of in the mid crease out to my outer, it just kind of gave it a little bit more dimension. I know it looks kind of funny and not really well rounded out right now, but as we get closer to the final look, it will start to take shape, I promise you. So now I think I'm going to go into a Boss Angeles. It's almost like this burnt brown orange right there. The same brush, I'm still using the Sigma E45 brush. I'm just going to dip into that a little bit, and I'm literally just going to kind of focus it on the center, just to kind of pull it in to the shade that I just put on, Calabasas. So this will just add a little bit of warmth to the look. And I'm just going to blend that in a little bit. Okay, so before I go further, I am going to do my bottom lids. So I think the color that I'm going to go into is that first one called Back. So I'm just going to dip into that with that same brush. And I'm just going to give that a light dusting. And even though I worked with all of these colors like right now on my eye, I don't have like much fallout. I don't have pretty much any fallout like right here. So that accounts for something, because I thought for sure when I went into Self-Made, which is that Jeffree Star pink, that I would get that kind of puffed everywhere all over my eyes, and especially that darker shade, Calabasas, I thought that I would get that everywhere, like sprinkle all down here. I'm pretty thankful for that, and I think that does account for something. So now I think I'm going to go into that darker one, Calabasas, just to darken it up a little bit. So I'm just going to go in with this burnt orange color again, Boss Angeles, and I'm just going to layer that on top of those shades, just so it kind of ties everything kind of together. So now I'm trying to figure out which color that I kind of want to put here. I don't want to use a matte shade, I definitely want to use like a shimmer shade. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Dog Mom. So I just kind of swatched this, and if I don't like it, I can definitely put like a silver one on top of it. So it's this silver one right here. It's kind of like a peachy silver, not peachy silver, like peachy shimmer shade. So I'm just going to go in with my finger like that, and I'm just going to tap this kind of on the inner corner and just towards the center. So just like that. I'm going to do the same to this side. And I'm just going to take the first initial blending brush, and I'm just going to blend the edges of that a little bit just to make it more seamless. I'm going to go back into that dark burgundy Calabasas shade and just kind of clean it up. So what I think I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into Hi Dude. That's such a cool name. And I'm going to go in, it's like this dark brown one down there in the corner. So same Sigma brush, just dipping into that. And I'm going to very gently just kind of add a little tiny bit of this right on the outer V, just to kind of give it a little bit of more dimension. I said I wasn't into like dramatic makeup, and here I am doing like a bright pink burgundy shimmer smoky eye look. But this is actually my style of an eye, except I usually use more like neutral colors. So it's kind of fun to put my own style into more dramatic colors like this. Like I would never use like pink and burgundies this kind of way, or like this really nice shimmer shade. Like I would never think to do this look if I didn't have this palette. So I feel like it's definitely opening my mind to experimenting more with color and techniques and all of that stuff. So I am actually really liking this look right now. So I'm just going to take that dark brown called Hi Dude again on the same brush, and I'm just going to put a little bit on my lower lid just to kind of tie in those colors once again. And you can go in with like a bigger fluffy brush and just kind of clean up the edges. So I like to do this if I feel like some color is kind of seeping out of the line, so to speak. So not that it's really too bad right now, but just to clean it up just a little bit to make everything look a little more cleaner. So I'm actually going to go into the shade, I think I'm going to go in with Welcome, which is this corner one up there. And I'm just taking this on my Morphe Y22 brush. This brush is perfect for doing the inner corners and your brow bones. So that's what I'm doing with this. I'm just putting a little bit in there and a little bit up here. I find like this just ties any look together, no matter what kind of look that you're going for. You know what? That would make a really nice highlighter shade. So I think instead of trying on like my normal highlighter, I think I'm just going to dab into that, and I'm going to be using my Sigma High Cheekbone Highlighter brush, the F03 brush. I cannot rave more about this brush for doing highlighting. It's like the perfect style brush. And again, I'm just going to dip into that shade that I just put on, and let's see how that looks as highlighter. Ooh, so it's really pretty. It's a little bit more obviously white than what I'm used to in a highlighter. I kind of like a little bit of like champagne-y gold highlighters, but this one is really pretty if you really like that icy look. Just going to put a little bit on my nose. Yeah, so this surprisingly makes a really nice highlighter. So if you guys can see that sheen on my face. I actually really enjoy that. So I'm kind of contemplating on what color I kind of just want to swipe on for like a little bit of eyeliner. So if you know me, you know I don't use actual eyeliner products. I really like to use shadows and like an angled pencil brush. So that's like definitely my go-to in my style for eyeliner. So they do have the dark brown and of course the black in the corner. So I'm kind of unsure if I want to do brown or black for eyeliner, because if I don't know if I put black, it's going to be too dark. So, but you know what? Let's just try it. I'm going to go with the black. Screw it. So that picked up really well on my brush, and this is the Sigma E65 brush. I'm just going to go in and just line the very base of my lash line. So I find liner brings any look together, whether you're doing a neutral look or a dramatic look. I find you have to put something on the lash line to kind of tie it all together. So this black is like extremely black and pigmented. It's actually like literally like the perfect black shade, especially if you were like me and use black shadow for liner all the time. So this is literally the perfect black for that. I think instead of putting the black on my lower lash, I'm just going to kind of use what's left already on the brush and dip into the brown and kind of just put that on my lower lash just in case that it closed my eyes up too much. So I am going to go in with mascara, and I'm actually using a different type of mascara here on my channel, which is like fairly new for me. Because I do have my favorites, but this one is like a little mini Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. So I actually tried this mascara probably about a year ago. Not this one, but it was like a different one. Probably a good year ago, and I absolutely did not like it whatsoever. Like, I was so against it. I had no idea what everybody liked about this mascara, and I tried this for the first time probably 2 weeks ago, and I cannot get enough of this mascara. So like, it's almost topping, wait now, like just give it a second, it's almost topping my Lancome Monsieur Big Mascara, and I was like a diehard for this. This was all I would use. I would either use this one or like a drugstore one that I'm like really obsessed with, but it just does something to your lashes where it coats every strand and it gives you just enough like spread of your lashes, because I don't like when lashes spread out too far and they look like doll lashes. I like when they're semi spread out and they look voluptuous and wispy, and this mascara does that and more. So needless to say, I'm going to have to purchase the larger size of this one, and this is definitely going to be one of my go-to mascaras from now on, unless I discover something else that I like also. But it's just funny that you can try something and not like it and then come back to it and then absolutely love it. Moral of the story, I found another diehard mascara. So I think I will attempt false lashes with this look. Because it is such a dramatic look, I feel like it just needs a little bit of something else just to kind of take it to that level. So I will be applying the MAC lashes in the style 76. I actually love these. I would recommend these over all of the MAC lashes. If you like something that's like a nice medium wispy but volume lash that's nothing like too huge or too big, I would highly recommend the 76s. But before that, I am just going to put on a lip, and I am going to be keeping it drugstore with this one, and this one is one of my favorites. It is the Maybelline Nocturnal Rose Powder Matte Lipstick. So this is just like a nice pink mauvey rosy color. So again, this one is called Nocturnal Rose. Give my lips a little bit of color. So that is what the lip color looks like. I think that this ties in so well with like the color of my eyes. So last step, I'm gonna put these guys on and I will be right back. I am so happy with how this look turned out. I'm actually kind of shocked that I did this kind of look. Not that I can't do this kind of look, but I usually do this exact same look, but the colors are like inverted to like naturals and browns and warm tones. So I actually really liked kind of doing the same thing but with some pinks and some purples and burgundies. Kind of puts me in the mood to kind of experiment more with color, which I'm slowly inching towards. I'm kind of getting out of my comfort zone a little bit, which is good. I think that's what I need to kind of grow myself and to kind of grow my skills a little bit. In terms of this palette, I would highly recommend this palette. I didn't see anything wrong with it at all. The colors blended beautifully. The colors were super pigmented, and I did not have one speck of fallout the whole entire time. So I do recommend this palette. I think it's a great price. I used the code JSTAR on it. So apparently if you use that code, that he does give those proceeds to charity, which I think is really awesome. So if you are looking to get this palette, I would definitely use his code instead of another affiliate's code if you want to donate to charity. Alright guys, so that concludes my first impression and try on of the Morphe and Jeffree Star collaboration palette. So if you liked this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, and if you would like to see more by me, just hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate you all so much, and I just want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!